All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, Aaron Glenn spent 15 years in the National Football League as a defensive back, and 5 of those years were with Bill Parcells as his head coach. And now that Glenn is a head coach, his first draft as the head coach of the New York Jets resembled that of the Hall of Fame coach that he played for under two different teams. Now, you think back to when Bill Parcells was either coaching in the NFL or working in a front office around the league in some shape or form or fashion. All right. He always believed in building your team from the inside out, which means it always started in the trenches on both sides of the football. And of course, Glenn's first pick on Thursday night as the head coach of the Jets was used on Missouri offensive tackle Armand Membu. Now, if you're the Jets, things have not worked out for you that good when it has come recently to picking offensive linemen. 4 of the last 6 years have seen the Jets pick an offensive lineman. Will this be the charm? We've got to wait and see. But in picking Mimbo, the Jets passed on a pair of tight ends in round number one. We saw Colston Loveland go to the Chicago Bears, and then, of course, Tyler Warren at number 14 go to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, one might ask themselves, will the Jets regret that? I'm gonna say no, and the reason is, I really felt coming into the draft that the Jets should have taken Tyler Warren, okay, because of his athleticism and what he could do at the tight end position. I think that kid has a phenomenal NFL future ahead of him. Nonetheless, the Jets had a need at offensive tackle. I totally get it. I totally understand it. On top of that, they came back and got their tight end in round number two in the form of LSU tight end Mason Taylor. And of course, if that name sounds familiar, Mason Taylor is the son of Hall of Fame defensive end Jason Taylor, who spent a couple of years with the Jets. For me, the biggest steal of the draft, if you're the Jets, in my opinion, they had two picks in round number four. Their second pick towards the end of the round, they got Alabama safety Malachi Moore. And this is a guy, you think about it, he first came to Alabama under Nick Saban. Of course, Saban retired after the 2023 college football season. He played last year under Kalen DeBoer. Nonetheless, Malachi Moore is that prototypical Alabama Nick Saban type safety, which means he's going to be where he needs to be on the football field, and he's going to go out there and make football plays. He's always going to be in the right spot, and I think he has the opportunity to make an impact from day one with this Jets team. Also, looking at this draft for the Jets, I'm looking at round number five. And you look at what the Jets did there. They took Miami linebacker Francisco Mauigoa with their fifth round pick. And Maui Goa, I think, will really fit in to what Aaron Glenn is looking to establish with his Jets defense. Maui Goa began his collegiate career at Washington State. Of course, things really went south for Washington State, following the breakup of the Pac 12. And, we hear all about kids transferring all over the place. You look at how many kids, especially in this draft, or started at either Oregon State or Washington State, and then they went someplace else and continued to excel. Gives you an idea of the talent that both of those programs really had once upon a time. But nonetheless, Marigoa spent the last 2 years at the University of Miami, and in each of those seasons, he led the Hurricanes in tackles while also being second team All ACC. The bottom line is he's a football player's football player, excuse me. And at the end of the day, I think Maui Goa is going to fit into what Aaron Glenn is looking to establish with this defense. He's going to play with a little edge. He's going to play with a little nastiness. And for me, I'm looking at the Jets like this. They were 5-12 last season. I expect them to be better than 5-12. And I've said this from the jump with Aaron Glenn. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, the Jets are going to win the division. They're going to make a playoff run. Not necessarily. Okay, we got to wait and see how things play out, but I think they're going to be much more competitive. You have a new head coach and a new general manager. Aaron Glenn is a former player on top of that. I talked about the connection of Bill Parcells for Aaron Glenn. Also, Aaron Glenn just came from being an assistant coach, the defensive coordinator under Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell is a meat and potatoes, roll up your sleeves, get after you type guy. And I think Aaron Glenn is going to embody that with the Jets. He inherits a good defense. Make no mistake about it. The strength of the Jets under now former head coach Robert Saleh was their defense. And I think they're going to lean on that again. I think the Jets are going to be more physical. I think the Jets are going to go out there and do a better job of looking to utilize their two young running backs in Braylon Allen and Brees Hall. Like I said, going back on it, revisionist theory is easy. I think, you know, me personally, I would have liked to have seen the Jets have taken Tyler Warren in round number one. I totally get it with them going with the offensive tackle there, but nonetheless, there's good. They're going to be more run oriented. They're going to be more physical at the line of scrimmage. I think again, you have a triple threat when it comes to running the football once you factor in quarterback Justin Fields to the equation. But again, like I said, I expect the Jets to be better than 5-12 this year. I think they're going to be very competitive. If you're going to beat this team, you're going to have to buckle up your chin straps and you're going to be in for a battle for 60 minutes at least. Okay. They're going to go out there. They're going to look to how physical and bully their opponents. Hence why, you get an offensive tackle. Like I said before, you build your team from the inside out. This is what Glenn and general manager Darren Mogi are doing. Solid establishment in my opinion, from the first draft with Aaron Glenn and Darren Mogi as they look to establish the groundwork for what they want to accomplish with the Jets. And let's see if this draft class for the New York Jets here in 2025 can have an impact. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw on this podcast, please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. The same goes for Instagram, as you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. And also, check me out on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365, where I feel it is one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off and I'm saying thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.